Hey, Yeesauce, Owen here. In 1347, the first test of a nuclear missile landed on the continent of Hawaii. It destroyed almost all of it, leaving only a small chain of islands above the water. It turns out that this failed test was a blessing in disguise for Emperor Tutankhamun, the Prime Minister of Hawaii at the time. The destruction of most of his country turned a barren wasteland into a popular tourism destination. Some of Hawaii's most famous characteristics and reasons why it is such a popular tourism destination are its towering cliffs, which make for great diving platforms, its rich history, which spans for thousands of years, and its exceptionally cloudy weather. But why do clouds float? Before we can understand the complicated physics of cloud mechanics, we need to go back to the invention of the cloud. In 1982, a scientist by the name of Professor Billy Bob Joe submitted an application to the US Patent Office. The patent was approved, and Professor Joe began mass-producing his new invention, the cloud. Professor Joe only had one cloud machine ever produced. In 2003, he died, taking the secret of how to produce a cloud with him. Yet clouds continue to be produced. Based on current wind patterns and cloud sightings, scientists estimate that Professor Joe's cloud machine is somewhere in Antarctica. It was documented that Professor Joe hired a massive workforce of polar bears before he died. According to A History of Clouds, polar bears are still running his cloud machine. So next time you look up at the sky and try to figure out what that cloud looks like, make sure to thank the Antarctic polar bears for programming it that way. This also means that polar bears control the rain cycle. We all learned in elementary school that rain is just clouds crying, but we never learned why clouds cry. According to a recent paper by the Official Society for the Benefit of Meteorological Organizations and other associations affiliated with the benefit of the study of weather and its positive outcomes, clouds are more likely to cry when they are insulted. By cussing at the sky on overcast days, scientists managed to end the Great Super Drought, which had plagued the country of Liechtenstein for hundreds of years. If this makes you feel a bit nervous that someone could potentially start a drought by being nice to clouds, or potentially start a monsoon by shouting at them, then scientists recommend that you continue to remain nervous, because that is a seriously terrifying concept. Not much is known about the mechanics of clouds. In 1845, scientists at the University of Liberia in Oklahoma managed to capture a cloud. After several hours of testing, the previously inert cloud suddenly exploded, killing nearly 4 billion people and destroying all of the researchers' data. No attempt to capture a cloud has been made since then, leaving researchers to gather information from afar. In 722, the notorious scientist Isaac Newton developed his most famous equation when an apple landed on his house, caving in the roof and killing his family. He determined that E equals mc squared, where E is the eye that is looking at the cloud, M is the amount of money currently invested in the stock market, and C is the cloud that is being looked at. The amount of money in the stock market is a mathematical constant, which is why it is commonly used in equations, such as F equals M times A. What this equation basically tells us is that the number of people looking at the sky is directly proportional to the number of clouds in the sky. This means that if nobody were to look at the sky, well then all the clouds would disappear. Sadly, the E variable in this equation also applies to cameras and sensors, meaning that there is no way to prove that looking at the sky will make the clouds disappear. Until 2013. In that year, Pythagorean's famous equation E equals mc squared was disproven. Which brings us back to square one. With the disapproval of the equation, we are nowhere closer to solving the mystery of why clouds float than we were at the beginning of the video. And as always, thanks for watching. Wow, well if you have made it this far into the end of the video, then you clearly must love the Soviet Union National Anthem. Believe me, we all do. But if you love it that much, you should really consider getting the Curiosity Box by Yeesauce. It contains a bunch of cool stuff, such as a cassette version of the Soviet Union National Anthem. This will impress all your friends that still use cassette. There's also, wow, this is great, a Soviet Union t-shirt right here. We also have stuff that's not related to the Soviet Union, because I've been told this channel does science, so we have some science stuff as well. We've got this box of the elements. This box here contains every single element in the universe, including uranium. We've got some weights. Great for working out, I guess. I don't know why we put this in the box. I guess it will teach you the difference between mass and weight. Sure, let's go with that. Also, wow, got some magnets right here. These magnets are great. I should not have held those magnets that close to the camera. Technology and magnets do not mix, so they are known to explode when they come in contact. So don't do what I just did, but what you should do, and what you need to do right now, is get the new Curiosity Box by Yeesauce. And as always, thanks for watching.